Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So, we've got some late breaking news that I felt needed to be investigated and looked at. I saw a headline. It disappeared before I could click on it, then I had to go digging around for it. But the headline was, at Trump's urging, Pam Bondi says the U.S. will investigate Epstein's ties to Clinton and other political foes. So Trump has decided that he needs a distraction. He needs to diverge from the Epstein Files. So he's sicking Pam Bondi's Justice Department to go after his political foes. Specifically, or including Bill Clinton, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, LinkedIn founder and Democratic donor Reid Hoffman, amongst others. Pam Bondi posted on X that she was assigning Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton to lead the probe. And so there you go. So, Trump is basically saying that the Epstein hoax is a Democratic fueled hoax, and that it's another Russia scandal. And in related news, Mikey Johnson is preparing for a bunch of Republican defections on the vote to release the Epstein Files. And so these Epstein Files, even Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying that Trump is completely miscalculating how serious this is. Whether Trump was involved in the trafficking and or sex with these girls, we don't know. We don't have the information. We can cast suspicions all day long, but ultimately, the presumption of innocence applies. Although in the emails that were released from the Epstein estate, he basically said, "Oh yeah, Trump knew about the girls. He was spending time with one of them for hours at my place," and it's like let's say this was happening in around 2000, late 90s, early 2000s. So let's call it 25, 30 years ago. Okay, Trump is in his late 70s now, 78. So he would have been like 40, almost 50 years old, and he's traipsing around with teenagers. And it's just like, ew. I mean, just ew. I just don't get it. So I want to go take a look at this. I mean, Trump is getting more and more desperate about this. And it makes you wonder why it's one of those things. If you didn't do anything wrong, why would you worry about it, right? So it kind of makes you wonder, even though no one has pointed a finger at him, there doesn't seem to be any evidence that's been released yet that would link him to it. But man, he is sure acting like someone who's got something to hide, right? So for entertainment purposes only, because this is for entertainment purposes only, we're going to look at the energy of it. But first, I think we need to give out some kitty cat shout outs because I have a ton of them. Okay, so from Linda Myville, or Miville. Linda, hi. She's got Oliver Twist, who says meow. Hi, Oliver Twist, who says meow. We're going to give Oliver Twist the 7 of Swords. Don't let Oliver Twist get all the good treats, you guys. Maxine Benjamin says her daughter has 5 cats and 2 dogs. Good Lord, that is a busy house. Knight of Pentacles, you might want to take some time to think about how much money you're spending on food bills for the pets. We had, at one point, we actually had 6 cats and 2 dogs. And 3 kids. That was a zoo. Let's see. Miss Mustache wants to give a shout out to her cat Mustache, who would love a mustache. Most people think she's a boy because of the mustache, but nope, it's a girl. And A mustache is a magician. Manifested a mustache out of nothing, right? All right. What else we got? Sonoma Natural. Sonoman Natural. That's easy for me to say, right? Are you actually up in Sonoma? My parents have a place up in Boys Hot Springs. Anyways, Cutie Boots, who likes to snoopervise and squeak for outdoor feral, Cutie Boots and Squeak come indoors for pets and kitty snacks. Well, there you go, the Empress, because you treat them like little empresses, right? And then we'll do one more. And then we'll do some more of these at the end. Oh, and I just want to give a shout out to Robin Davis. Robin, thank you so much for your kind contribution to the channel. You have been so consistent with that. And will not tell David because Four of Pentacles means it's all mine. Mine. And I'll buy some beer or something with that. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's do a quick reading on what's the energy around this. So the energy around Trump and Pam Bondi going after Trump's enemies. So it's more of the same with him, right? You know, every accusation is a confession, and you just assume that your enemies are doing the same thing you're doing. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, wow, what a great first card. It's a shame you didn't see it. Maybe we'll come down and see it. Okay, foundation of the reading, High Priestess. It's about secrets. It's about asking the right questions. Dig. The cross that challenges the Eight of Swords. He's finding himself trapped. That there's no way out of this. And this could be a political trap that... It's funny because he was running on this. You know, my understanding was he was making this an issue in his campaign to release the Epstein Files. And now that it's coming to fruition, he wants nothing to do with it. But he's trapped because it looks like there's going to be a lot of defectors in the House. And that may sway the Senate to also have some defectors. If there's huge House support, the Senate may go along with it. Energy underneath is the Page of Wands. Got to change the messaging. So, and that's exactly what he's doing here. He's changing the messaging. It's a hoax. It's the Democrats are making this shit up, just like the Russia. Now we're going to investigate Bill Clinton and all these other Democrats because clearly they're the ones that are guilty. You know, it's just funny because I guarantee you, if Bill Clinton's name was in there, he would have released those files a long time ago, right? Let's all be really honest about that. If he had a way to leverage his political enemies, he would have done it already. Energy in the past is the Tower. This is going to end careers. This is going to create all sorts of chaos. Current energy is the Wheel of Fortune. Don't know exactly what's going to happen next. You know, he wants Bondi to go after Bill Clinton and some of these other folks. There's arguably no evidence that they did anything wrong. I mean, maybe there's something in there, but there's no evidence that anything was done wrong. And he's just grasping at straws is kind of what I'm getting with this card. It's just, it's karma is catching up, and he's struggling more and more to get out of the grip of karma. Overarching energy, justice. It's time for justice to be meted out. It's time for justice to be brought forward. Lesson to be learned is the King of Wands. You know, take ownership and accountability for your actions. And that's why a lot of the MAGA or the Republicans in the House, they just want to see accountability. And that's why they're voting for this. They want whoever was involved in this to be held accountable, whoever it was. And I think most of us in the audience agree with that. Yeah, I don't care who it is. I think we can all agree that pedophiles should be prosecuted. Outcome is the Two of Wands. You've got actions that are going to be taken that will affect the future. And it seems like from this card that Bondi and Trump recognize that the actions of this vote to release the Epstein information, they understand that they need to look out in the future and try and do something. So right now it's deflect. look over at the shiny object over here. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. So that's just, and I mean, that's just what Trump does. You know, he never owns anything. I can understand you don't want to admit anything on this one particularly, but he always doubles down. He never owns anything, and that's so frustrating, because you know it takes a lot of maturity and a lot of character to admit when you've screwed up, because you know you've done something wrong. You know that there's going to be a consequence, and it takes courage to say, yeah, you know what, I did that. I screwed up. I'm really sorry. Hopefully that wasn't what my intention was, right? Versus, oh yeah, I did that and I totally intended it to happen. Yeah, that's not quite the same. You know, that whole, I made a mistake, I owned it, I will learn from it and be better next time. I mean, that's part of why we're here, to learn and to grow, and mostly to love, right? Okay, so let's see what will be the results of this. Let's see. What should we know about the results of this investigation into all these Democrats that are clearly having these secret relations with Epstein and his island of children? Knight of Pentacles. This is going to take some time, and you're going to need they're going to have to sit back and assess what the information has. There's a lot of information out there. The challenge is there's a lot of information out there, but there's not much that they can harvest. This is going to take a lot of time because there's just simply no low-hanging fruit for them. Energy underneath it is the Star. You've got very famous people who typically are wealthy and typically can afford good legal representation. So you have to be careful on who you're going after. I see a Major Arcana card coming up here. In the past, you had the Page of Pentacles. Let's throw this information out there. Look. The Democrats they're the ones that were bad. They're bad people. They are all over this file. See, and holding up some sort of theory about Democratic involvement with Epstein. Page of Swords, just trying to swing at everything. This is just a desperate attempt to try and take someone down. Overarching energy is a Tower, but this is ultimately doomed to fail. That the foundations of this investigation are just not there, and that it's probably not going to yield much, if anything. Lesson to be learned: heartbreak, betrayal, Three of Swords. And that can be taken a couple different ways. The way I kind of feel is just this abuse of power. How his Department of Justice is just basically doing whatever Trump tells him to do. There's like no critical thought. There's no pushback saying, you know what, there's nothing here. We can't do this. This is not ethical. This is not something that should be done. And that's heartbreaking because we can see the weaponization of the Department of Justice. Outcome is the Nine of Pentacles. So the results of this, it's just, so the Nine of Pentacles, that's kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure how to finish up the story with this. So the Nine of Pentacles is about just enjoying the finer things in life. You've worked hard. You reap the benefits of your hard work and your efforts. I mean, I don't know. Give me a clarifier. What do I need to know about the Nine of Pentacles as a result of the results of this? He's balancing what he brings to MAGA. He's balancing what he's bringing to MAGA. They want to celebrate a victory. And then we've got agreements. Huh. Okay. I'm going to chew on that one. Usually I find if I take a walk, it kind of comes to me. But we got the Nine of Pentacles, and I'm not sure what that means. So I'm going to chew on that. So let me come down again. So the energy around how is this going to resolve? They've got to spend some time going through it. There's no low-hanging fruit. There's not much they can harvest. They keep throwing stuff out there. See, look. We're going to fight. But they're not fighting from a strong foundation. And we've got a weaponized Department of Justice. And then you've got the Nine of Pentacles. I don't know. Curse you. Not meant for me to know. This would be one of those ones where I really wish Dave was here, because it's probably really obvious to him what it is, not to me. All right, that happens. Oh well. Okay. All right, what else we got going on? So let's do this. Since I'm not getting a clear response out of that, I kind of wonder if that Nine of Pentacles, that the outcome is kind of the truth coming out from the women who were obviously not women at the time, the survivors of this, who have lots of information and lots of things of value to bring forward, which would start making sense of the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, where and the Three of Cups, where they're celebrating, they're bringing people together with agreements, and they're bringing balance to this. It could be that Nine of Pentacles are the women that who at the time were children that had to survive this, and they bring the information forward that is what we truly need. I mean, there's some speculation. They've already said, hey, they've got their own list. And so if the Department of Justice starts fiddle-farting around with information, they can bring forth their own list. Let's just do one quick one. How is Trump going to feel at the end of this? At the end of this investigation? Temperance is about detoxification, trying to find balance. Justice has been served. So this is interesting. Or you've got the Justice Department. These are great positive cards. Seven of Swords, but trying to get away with something. It seems like the investigation is a very balanced one. They don't get caught up in the rhetoric, and it basically comes into a just result. There's someone trying to steal the things of value, or basically make off with stuff when no one's paying attention. This is probably like a diversionary card. Look over here as you're trying to make off with something. And you got the King of Wands being held accountable. And underneath it, you got the Star. How is Trump feeling about this? How does the one card that seems very Trumpian is this one. Just attempting to deflect and draw attention away from it, but it just seems like it's not going to work. There's too many major arcana going after the minor arcana. This is my feeling on this is the big picture karma stuff isn't going to get distracted by this. That in the grand scheme of things, everything is going to turn out the way it was designed to turn out. And this little minor arcana, this little tactical card, is not going to change the major arcana, the big major themes here. So in my mind, it's just a failed attempt. It's like a flea thinking that it's guiding the dog. It's the dog's going where the dog's going. The flea's got no control over it. The flea can think it has control, but it doesn't. The dog's in charge. And I think that's kind of what we got, that this is too big for Trump to influence. That that this process is going to go the way this process was meant to go, and Trump can't deflect away from it. All right, that's what I got. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the cat shout outs. I've got a whole bunch more. Michelle, also known as Kentucky Belle, has quite the list. So Michelle's got Savannah Nicole, Brandius Daniel, Nicholas Christian, Roman Orion, Easton Jacob. My goodness. So when you're mad at the cats, do you say, Savannah Nicole, get over here? Or do you just call her Savannah? Or do you call her Savannah Nicole and that's her whole name? Because how will the cat know if it's in trouble? King of Swords, I guess you're just going to have to let them know when they're in trouble. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, and Kentucky Belle, once again, thank you so much for the kind contribution. You have been absolutely so wonderful in supporting this channel. I totally appreciate it. You are a sunshine for David and I. Totally appreciate that. And my sister just texted me. Southern Belle says, hello for my kitties Rose and Aslan, who listen to you every morning as they have breakfast. We love listening. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Ah, yes. Four of Pentacles. Yes, they enjoy their breakfast and they're not going to share. I don't blame them. Let's see. All right. I'm Kinda has two cats, Jake and Ember, that are 3 years old. All right. And then we've got the Two of Wands. Yes. there are many actions that two cats 3 years old that can do. They don't have kitten energy, but they definitely have young cat energy, which, that's generally running up and down the hall and causing some mayhem, especially when you wake up in the morning, you think, what the hell just happened to the house here? Let's see. Attraction Manifestors has Chicky Wing. We'll give a Knight of Cups to Chicky Wing. Thank you so much. Oh, and the Goofy Girl, that would be Elaine. Thank you so much for me and my kitty, Mr. Minx, 16-year-old tuxedo cap. We got the Nine of Swords. I hope Mr. Minx lets you sleep at night. We had 6 cats. I had to lock him in the front room, in the living room, because at 2 a.m, invariably, they'd come marching down the hallway, scratching at the door or jumping on me to wake me up so that they could go outside and play with their friends. Hopefully, Mr. Minx is not doing that to you. And then we're going to wrap it up with VC 9185. So VC 9185, I hope you say hi to the 9,184 other VCs, who's a pet sitter and pet sits 2 cats, Luna and Bella. I would love a chat out to my kitty friends. Well, you got that. And you got the 7 of Wands. Go out there and you defend those 2 cats, even though you're pet sitting them. That's fine. They're probably just a lot of joy. I think it's kind of like having grandkids. You get them riled up and then leave them for the parents to deal with later. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And for the card for the rest of us is that 7 of Swords. Don't fall for it. Don't go for the diversionary, look over here, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. We're not falling for it. Stay focused, and everything is going to turn out just fine. Thank you so much, folks. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.